You ate shit? I said, you hungry? Huh? Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my wine. Hold on. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Hey, y'all. Shay. Shay. You want to do this live with me? He said no. Hey, what's going on? I see y'all in here deep. Normally I'll do this on the backup channel, but I said I'm going to do it on the main channel because I done got cussed out so bad in here by Jasmine, Shaq, and Chelsea. And the girl I interviewed. So let me tell you what happened, y'all. Let me tell you what happened. I see y'all in here deep. Let me tell y'all what happened. I know it's late. I'm not going to be long, okay? I'm not going to be long. It's 12 o'clock here. Yes, my employees went off on me. So, I'm a very strong and opinionated person. Whatever it is that I set my heart to, that's how it goes. I don't waver. It's very hard for me to take advice of others because anytime I've taken the advice of others, it's always fucked me up, right? So, because a lot of people, I feel, and I'm not going to say Jasmine, Shaq, and Chelsea are like this because they have my best interests at heart, but I think sometimes, you know, people operate out of fear, and I don't operate out of fear. I don't. So if I feel like something, I've always challenged my fear because a lot of times fear keeps you from achieving goals. It keeps you from doing the things that you really need to do because you're afraid. That's a word. Okay, hold on. So let me tell you what happened. All week I've been working on the French Montana stories, right? There's a lot of women that have came forward, and that is so courageous because sometimes it takes a support group for people to come out with stories like this. And you guys know I've always been an advocate for victims or whatever. But here's the thing. There's this one particular victim, and this is what I need y'all help with. And I'm only going to put it on Patreon because I need to make sure that if y'all say it can't come out or it shouldn't come out, it's not going to come out. So if I see anybody with it on YouTube, I'm just striking you immediately. Matter of fact, it automatically gets strike. You can talk about it. I don't care. But if you put it up and it's not supposed to be up, like this is a site that people go pay for to watch, then it's a problem. So let me tell you what happened. So I interviewed a girl a couple of, maybe last week. That went well. So tonight I did 2 more girls, and I think I'm doing 1 more next week. So one of the girls in particular, and this is what we said. We said if y'all say it should go out on Patreon, it should go out. If y'all on Patreon have to determine whether this is going to come out on YouTube because Jasmine, Shaq, and Chelsea said no. They said, Tasha, fuck no. The girl is upset with me. She's crying. She's embarrassed. You know, she has a corporate job, and she wasn't feeling me. They said I was too rough on her, and I didn't think I was rough. I said, but you have to understand, like, you can't just expect to come out with something and not be challenged. So she happens to be a very nice-looking Caucasian lady, right? And so, of course, I'm black. I automatically give off the angry black woman syndrome, right? So me and Jessica already have a rapport, guys. So I'll figure something out with that, okay? So it's not that I don't want to talk to her. I've been talking to Jessica for a while, okay? So stay tuned, like, just chill out on that. Now, so y'all talking about Charlamagne the God, and I'm working on one thing, y'all. Damn. So, I'm talking to her, and she's telling her story. And, in the beginning, I know sometimes I make crazy faces. I don't know why. I've always been like that. Y'all know me. I just be like, I really be focused in and I'm listening. I do that with everybody. Y'all be like, damn, Tasha be making some shady faces. But I'm like, I really, truly be into the story. And I be trying to really gauge in with people. That's the Pisces in me. I don't like to really get into that astrological shit. But, it is a part of me. I really try to focus in and become one with the person in the story. So she's telling me the story. And she says, like, she had never met him before. And but I want y'all to see my reaction, my real reaction. I want y'all to see the real thing. And so she says, her friend had warned her to not be around him because he will try to hit on her, right? So instead, she decided to go off and talk to him and stuff like that. And she wound up in the bathroom. And when she got in the bathroom, she said she was using the bathroom and she thought she locked the door. And she said when she locked the door, she said she realized he just walked in and said, oh, I got to use the bathroom. She's like, oh, my God, excuse me, right? And so when she said, I'm going to give you your privacy. So she continued to wash her hands. And then when she turned around to go out, she said that he was standing right there with his pants down. And I have to say allegedly because I was not there. And I said allegedly with all the girls because I was not there. How somebody interprets rape or sexual assault, that's their experience. Okay, so that's number one. I'm putting that out there. So I was not there. However, I had questions about what went down when she was there. And I think any natural person would have had questions because of the receipts that I received. It was kind of like, well, who does this? And I'm going to put the receipts on Patreon too so y'all can see it, okay? And it was the reason why I asked the question that I asked. Now, Jasmine said I brought it back home at the end, but during the middle of it, the girl started crying. You know what I'm saying? She was like, wait a minute, So long story short, he's right there. He apparently has his pants down to his ankles. His dick is out. And I'm not going to put it out tonight. I'll let y'all know when I put it out. I'll come back. And he has a condom on. And so she was like, oh my God, like, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. And he was like, according to her, shh, quiet. She was in a loud house. Everybody was in the house. And, so instead she's thinking flight or fight is what she's saying. What should I do? And so instead of her trying to push him off, instead of her trying to say no, instead of her trying to be aggressive, she decides to get on one knee, and she thought that I would give him head with the condom on so that he won't fuck me. That's what she said. She said, so I thought me giving him head with the condom on would keep him from fucking me. Maybe I can make him calm with the condom on. So I just, put it in the back of my head, and I was like, okay. All right. So she continues to talk. And so when she was done with the story, she said, she just, she went down on her knee to give him head. He said, no, I don't want head. He said, no. So he picked her up and turned her around, leaned her over the sink, and he proceeded, according to her, to penetrate her and told her to look in the mirror. And y'all are crazy. And told her to look in the mirror because he wanted to see, like, I guess her pretty face or something like that. And, she's like, I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life. She remembered, like, there was broken pieces on the mirror. And so when he was done, she got her stuff. She said he ripped her clothes, and she told her friend, the friend that told her to stay away from him, let's go. So she leaves, right? And so you got to understand the receipts that I'm giving, I'm like, so she was like, they took somebody else's Uber. And I'm like, well, did you call the police? She said, no. I'm like, did you file a civil suit? She said, no. I said, it's okay. Maybe you got a leg up in this because you're not going after money. But she said the Jane Doe that came out gave her the push to want to talk about it. It happened back in 2018. So when I came back with my questions based off the receipts that I was given, she didn't like that. And it made her emotional. She was just like, I'm not doing this for clout. I'm not doing this for that. I can care less. I just want people to know the truth. There are other survivors. Right? And so I was just like, but if you say you're in a moment in a bathroom and a man that you just met 30 minutes ago walks in calmly, says he's gonna use the bathroom. You turn around, you for some reason are still there while he's peeing, and when you get ready to walk out, he has you say pinned against the wall. He didn't put hands on her, he just kind of got close to her and has his dick out. And instead of you saying or doing, she said, there's people in the house, there was but where the door was, it was by the front door, but they were deep in the house, right? So she says, she just in her mind said, well, let me do this so it won't do this. But I'm just like, well, oral sex is the same as regular sex, right? So I'm just like, you do know, like, when you come out with that and you did not call the police, and there's a video of you filming, I don't know who's filming you, jump over a gate. Literally, if you see the video, I'm afraid to put this video out because it will be a meme. Like, it's a white girl jumping over the gate. I said, they're going to have questions because I've never been raped, but I have been sexually assaulted. I have been molested, right? Molested, I had nothing, I couldn't, I was, weak in them. I was 5 years old, So that's a different scenario. Sexually assaulted, somebody comes out, they pull out their dick, shit like that. That has happened in Panama City plenty of times by some nasty ass motherfucking dudes, right? They see a young girl, they probably 18, 19, they just pull out their dick. So I've seen it happen. But what I did in the moment as a 12-year-old girl, when I remember walking home from the store from the junior store in Panama City, my mom had sent me to go get her some cigarettes. Back then you could buy some cigarettes. And so I went to get her some cigarettes. And as I was walking home, there was a guy that I had known from the neighborhood that was 22 years old, was sitting on the porch. I was 12 years old. And he said, hey, come here. So I stepped into the yard. I'm thinking maybe he I don't know why he was calling me. And he was like, you want to come inside? And I was like, no. And then he was like, he literally pulled out his dick in the middle of daylight, like during the day, and was like, come inside. And he started rubbing his dick, right? And I was like, I'm 12 years old. This nigga was tall. He was a big nigga. I was like, I'm good. And I got the fuck on, okay? I got the fuck on, went to my house. Now, granted, I never tell my mama because I didn't want my mama to think back then they called you fast. Well, what the fuck was you doing around there? Well, shit, I had to pass his house. I just ain't want to answer all them questions, but I got the fuck from around there, right? So, and that always stuck with me because I'm like, because I used to see him and, his grown girlfriend walking in the neighborhood, but for him to just do that, it was just like, oh, what the fuck? No. And that at the time, I had never seen a dick before. So that was shocking too, because I'm like, you just pulling out your dick, rubbing your dick in the middle of the porch. Somebody can like drive past here. When you get over, you have questions. So my thing is like, I'm thinking if you're in the bathroom and somebody comes behind you and you say his power and his status kept you from saying or pushing this motherfucker off, I have questions because I'm thinking, and I said to her, and they didn't like that. They said, why did you say she negotiated her body? I said, well, that was the first thing that came to my mind. So you negotiated with him. She's like, I didn't negotiate. And I was just like, you didn't push him off of you. You didn't scream. I'm sure somebody would have came to you and be like, what the fuck going on? She in there screaming. And then she proceeds to say, well, I was drunk. But this was like later in the interview. And I'm like, so you left that part out. She was like, well, can we leave out the part of me saying, because it's embarrassing and I work in corporate America, that I was willing to get down and on my knee and give him oral sex to keep him from fucking me? I would rather you honestly fuck me with a condom on than put your shit in my mouth. That's me personally, okay? And so she was pissed. So was my people, my team and my partners, because they said that I was insensitive because you don't know what a woman will do in a situation like that. But my thing is, I have never seen in my life, unless they got a gun to my head and be like, yo, you gonna fucking do this, but I've never been in the shoes, so I can't really say that. But me, I'll probably still fight your ass if you got a gun to my head. I'm not finna get no. So my thing is, there was no gun. She just said it was the intimidation, the power, but she had just met him 30 minutes ago prior. So I'm like, I don't think this is good for you, because if you want me to leave out the part that kind of says that you was willing to do one thing but not another thing, and there was really no clarity on you not wanting to do either, and you decided after that it was rape, like, it's kind of hard. It's tricky. And my thing was, I'm like, and you got to understand, you guys are racially ambiguous women. You're a Caucasian woman. So I have questions. And the other two women, I had no concerns with their story. But this one, they felt because she was white that I came in with a preconceived notion that she was lying. But here's the thing, if you see the video that she sent me as a receipt, I said, well, who made this video? If you're running away and you grab your friend to run away and you're jumping a gate, right? And you're jumping a gate, who stops to film you jumping a gate? And it looks like a drunk white girl jumping a gate, falling over a gate. And then she sends me a picture of the dress, which the zipper was broken. And I'm just like, I don't know. She was like, well, so they felt like I was insensitive to her. And I'm just like, I just asked questions because I remember, I can't remember her name, it was an African lady, right? Who accused the head of the World Bank of raping her. She said that she came into the room to clean and he sat her down and put his hands on her shoulder aggressively, and his old ass, now this is an old motherfucker, fucked her in the mouth, okay, until he came. And then she runs out, and she lets all the guards know, and then she proceeds to tell. Now, she did the right thing. However, like, she followed the steps. She went and told everybody. They got the police involved. They arrested the guy. The reason he wasn't convicted, if you saw the actual interview, the documentary, I believe it's on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken. She said she lied about, because you gotta understand, people they get to know your character, and this is why a lot of rape victims don't get justice, is because they're leaving out stuff. And I felt like if they tell me to leave out that part but put out everything else, and then she's telling me to leave out that part, one, if French lawyers comes and says, hey, because at the same time I'm putting my platform on the line to advocate for y'all, but you want certain parts left out because you're embarrassed, but at the same time this is what happened, so you don't want certain things out because you're embarrassed and you felt like maybe I did fuck up in that situation and didn't do enough because you're questioning yourself. But at the same time, but if you're gonna come forward, you got to come forward. But back to the leader of the World Bank, the reason the man got off was because they found out that old girl had lied on her application. You remember they used to have the lottery for like immigrants to come in if they came from like certain situations, so they would draw your name. So she lied and said on her application that she had been raped by child soldiers or soldiers in Africa, and that's why she needed to come over to the United States to work and have a better life, right? So hold on for a second. Yes. So they were like, well, if you lied to come over here to have a better life and said that these men raped you in Africa, what makes us think you didn't know who he was prior to going in that room, and you came out with a plan to have a better life of getting him locked up and getting a little money, right? So she didn't get no justice, because you got to understand, like, if you're going to come forward, you have to put it all on the line. You can't have questionable things like that's not right to lie on people in Africa in your own country saying that they raped you so you could come over here, even though you may have had a justifiable situation saying I needed to get out of poverty. But it's the way you do it. And now all of a sudden, there's no proof that I think there was no semen or anything like that, because you said you ejaculated in your mouth. I don't know. I got to remember the specifics of that. And now you want people to believe that the leader of the World Bank, one of the richest man in the world, which he really wasn't that rich. I mean, but he appeared to be rich. He had a nice bag. You know what I'm saying? Raped you. And it's like, I don't know. So, the thing is, the reason I want to post it on YouTube, I said, listen, because we all have to make decisions here. I get it. I'm the talent. But I said, people come watch us because we are real. You know what I'm saying? And I have no problem, being ate up if I fuck up. That's a part of the learning process. Not every host is perfect, and I'm not going to play politically correct to impress because I'm afraid of losing. So I can't lose anything because I worked hard to build this. And so there may be some people that fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some advertisers that doesn't want to be a part of it. But at the same time, do you know how many women that do come forward that lie? So it's like, if your story is not adding up and the receipts that you send aren't supporting what you're saying, then I have to question that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So my thing is like, and they're like, well, she's a white woman. That's even worse, because as a white woman, it's imperative that your receipts line up, because historically, if we're going to go along with history, black men have been pent up for less. Do you understand what I'm saying? They've been pent up for less, and my platform and my voice has always spoken and advocated for abused women and women who have gone through trauma. But for y'all to say that I was wrong for questioning her about the what she did in that situation and why she didn't file a police report and why she's sending me drunk videos of her hopping over the gate. Like, who stopped? If you running and you're scared for your life, who stops to turn around and film you jumping over and fucking like on the gate? Like, what the hell? So my thing is, well, French Montana, he's Arab. So yeah, black. Okay. Even though he's not light skinned, he's Arab, he's Middle Eastern, it's the same thing. Damn near African, okay? Matter of fact, he is African. But so I'm just saying, I don't give a fuck about no French Montana. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? What I care about is the truth and that people be held accountable for what they're doing. But here's the thing. The girls have similar stories, okay? That it was a bathroom incident. And, you know, for some reason, he's fixated on bathrooms. But my thing is like, just because that there's been situations where girls who have ran into men and these men have tried them and they've agreed right then, and then later on they say, well, he used his power to make me to agree. So I'm looking at this as a learning lesson. Like, okay, I'm old school. Number one, I'm from the South. The first thing my grandmom would tell me, my mama would tell me, my aunt would tell me, what the fuck you had your ass around there for? If your friend told you to stay the fuck away from him, but you still carried your ass round there in that circle, you know what I'm saying? You ain't had no business round there. So my thing is, I feel like this is a learning lesson, because she did, in some sense, agree. But then when she was done, she said, oh, his power, his influence. But then there's another girl that came forward, and she's so little, and she didn't even really have to fight. She had to fight him off, but it wasn't like he was like okay, I'm all right, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So he had to try another method with her, which is fucked up. If that happened, of course I believe the girls, but I have to say allegedly, because I was not in the room. So, but with her, so we got 3 stories so far. 1 checks out. 2, I believe. 3, it's like, I don't know. And just because you say it doesn't mean that it actually happened, because the receipts that she sent is not like actual receipts. It's like a picture of the dress. The zipper is like, it looks like it got snagged and it broke, you know, them little cheap dresses. And then, you know, I had to question the way she was dressed. She was dressed in a funeral dress for the interview. So you could tell like she wanted to appear to be like sad, because, you know, black signifies, you got to understand, when people like these publicists do these interviews, or these crisis publicists and stuff like that, these are things that they tell you to do. So she's like, I got a corporate job. I don't want people to know that I negotiated with him, that I would do this and in exchange for this. And so could you please leave that out? And I said, no, it all has to go out, because I can't cut out parts, because then it looks as if they can argue, if they were to file a lawsuit, maybe you did have some reservations. Well, why did you leave that out? Because you knew that people would question that. So there was a possibility that was a lie. And I'm not going to put my platform on the line for nobody. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not, like I said, I will put it out on Patreon as paid content, because they can't come after me in a lawsuit. But if I decide to go forward and put it on YouTube, then okay, it's game on, French. It's game on. So, because at the same time, like, I have a daughter. I'm a woman. I have sisters. I have nieces, nephews. And the more you expose these motherfuckers, the more they're going to learn to, you know what I'm saying? You know, listen, there are consequences for this shit. So yeah, and about leaving it alone, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel real passionate about it. And when I'm passionate about something and I have a lot of kickback, and I usually go with the people that say no, I end up saying, you know what, I should have did that, because some shit comes out. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, why the fuck didn't I listen to my intuition? So I talked to them and told them, I was like, okay, we'll let it go on Patreon. and we'll let them decide as to how I handled it. And should it be live on YouTube? You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. So he's African. He's Moroccan. I thought he was Arabian or whatever. And I could black her face out because I could do that. So, I mean, that is a possibility too. But I'll let y'all see who she is on the main. And like I said, her face cannot wound up anywhere because this is a paid site and I have complete control over it. So if it's out there, if I have to file a lawsuit to get it down, I will. You know what I'm saying? I will go there. I have no problem with that because this is a different type of site. If I don't want my content everywhere else, that's my right because people are paying for it. So it's just like piracy. So yeah. And it has nothing to do with her being white. She's an absolutely beautiful girl. So white, black, whatever. I don't care. It's just the specifics. And then like me, all I said was like, so you negotiated that you would rather do this than this, and he didn't ask you to do nothing. He just appeared with his dick out, and I would have just slid my motherfucking ass away. You know what I'm saying, nigga? I don't know what you talking about. I thought you had to piss. Nothing. And then she says, well, I was intoxicated, so I couldn't really consent. But at the same time, you partially gave a little consent. So I'm just like, I can understand. Maybe you slept with somebody you didn't want to sleep with, or you changed your mind throughout the session. That too is rape. When you say no, that means no. But if you say no and then you proceed to do it, and he didn't put your head down, that's what I'm saying. That's all that I'm saying. So, my thing is, like, I know, like, they're scared. They're like, Tasha, you know what happened with the Jaguar Wright thing? What happened with the Jaguar Wright? What happened? What happened? She couldn't even remember all her stuff. What happened? Because it did not happen. I can tell. I don't know what it is. I can tell these things. I can tell when folks are lying, you know, and I don't like to use that as hardcore evidence, but I've noticed when I don't follow my intuition, I'm always like, see, y'all done fucked me. It's been plenty of times. And they know that. And they know when I get real passionate about something. I'm like, nah, fuck that. Because here's the thing. Even if she's not lying, I'll be the first to come out and say, I fucking apologize. But I still have the right, just because somebody's coming out and saying it, that I don't have to believe it. You understand? I can question that. She has to understand if she went to the police, they would question it. They're not going to just ultimately believe her. You see what I'm saying? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But I'm just saying, for me, like, if something seems off, I'm like, so this is what you did instead of doing this and instead of doing that. I don't know. So I just want y'all to be the judge of it. Shek will get it ready. It'll probably be out in a couple of days on Patreon. I'll let y'all know. And you know, I'm gonna put everything out because I want to do like a little documentary to it. So that's the reason why I'll only agree to do all the girls together, because you know that does help support, and she does have some similarities with her story. But to me, it's just like, you know, you just met him 30 minutes ago. There's no way I'm going to negotiate, and you know, he's just standing there. You know, he didn't have his pants are fucking down his waist. Like, nigga, I would have taken out. He couldn't run with them goddamn pants around his waist. He couldn't run. You out there, I ain't no way I'm finna suck your nasty ass motherfucking dick. No fucking way. No, I'm not finna let you fuck. I don't know you like that. No. So they said she might have wanted to give him one thing, but wanted something else. She gave it to him and she was mad. I don't know. So it's called investigative reporting. You have no choice. And that's what I'm saying. I can't just assume. They was just like, well, you should have just interviewed her, let her tell her story, and then gave commentary. No. Sometimes, like, I want people to understand, like, I have a lot to lose, too. So if you're going to come up here and say what you're going to say, you better be ready to be questioned or answer the question before I question it. Because that's what's going to happen. I said, I'm being light right now. When this go out, There's going to be some trolls. Don't watch it. Do not motherfucking watch it. That's what I told her. She was just like, well, can you just leave the part out where I said I wanted to negotiate, you know, don't put that out. People are going to laugh. It's embarrassing. It can't, because if I'm withholding one part, that's going to make it seem like maybe, one, they could argue that maybe there was a little bit of doubt, and two, you didn't want to be questioned on your lie. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Okay, so I think she, like I said, she's a sweet girl. She appears to be a very, very nice girl. But you know, if you're not ready, you're not ready. So, yeah. And yeah, I'm gonna put a little disclaimer. If you're triggered, don't watch, because you know, when it comes to stuff like this, I think about my daughter. I think about my nieces, my nephews, my cousins, everybody. I think about even the women that are watching now. I think about all of y'all, because it could be you. And some women don't have the courage to come forward. And when when they do have the courage to come forward, yes, I applaud that, because I want more to come forward. But you can't be opposed to questions. And I was very nice. I was not. I was just like, so you negotiate? That's all I said. I said, so you negotiated with him? You know, that's all I said. And it was, shit hit the fan. That is it. That is all. Shouldn't have said it. They said I shouldn't have said it. They said I should shut the fuck up and just let her talk, because my husband was like, you know, women, and I get it. He's like, you know, women react differently to these things. And regardless, if she says no, he says, woman, tell me no, it's no. I can be in the middle. No, done. Okay, some are different. You can be yes, and then you say no, and that's where it gets tricky. And that's why a lot of times these men don't go to jail, because of the, oh yeah, I want it, and then all of a sudden in the middle, I don't want it. And you know, men, if they don't have that self-control, they either gonna stay in it or they're gonna pull the fuck out. But the other two stories are very, 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 very interesting. I had no questions about them. And they answered a lot of the stuff that could have been questioned before I got to it. And like I said, I commend all three ladies so far. And I'm not here to trash or challenge anybody, but I just had to ask the question. So yeah. But I love you guys. I just wanted to let y'all know. So I will let y'all know when it's ready. I'll probably come back live again and say, hey, it's on, you know, it's on Patreon, or just get over there. If you pay for it, it's good for 30 days. I will put it out way before the 30 days, like later in the week. So and you can watch some other content if you're new over there. So yeah. And with that being said, I think we're going to be dropping Flame and Row tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. That was a very, very, very good interview. I love Flame. And so we talked about some real shit, and he revealed, he, she, we revealed, that's how, Flame goes by, he, she, we, whatever, you know, y'all feel like calling, he, she, we, you know, she's cool with that or whatever. But, she gave some real personal information, because I was shocked. I was like, oh, you do. And yeah, I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. You know, I'm learning something new too. So, we talked about Tiffany Haddish and a lot of other people, because, you know, we is close to him, Flame, and yeah, so, thank you guys, and, I will see y'all, tomorrow. I love you, and I'm about to go to bed, okay? Bye, and thank you for all the donations. I really appreciate y'all. Bye. Now, how the hell do I cancel this?